It takes a good 14 years of training to be able to improvise on stage. This is a problem quite often because artists learn for a year or two and decide they're good enough, and then the standard goes down. But improvisation like jazz is possible, especially in Kathakali, because quite often the line of the song might just say, the character, say it's Bhima, went into the forest. And what did he see in the forest? Now that's going to be entirely up to the dancer, what he describes. It can be the birth of a baby deer, or it can be the killing of an elephant, or it can be just trees and creepers. So the drummers just repeat the rhythm pattern again and again and again until the artist finishes expressing himself, and there's no vocal music. So that kind of improvisation is possible. And you can show a different forest each night. You go and see the same story 7 evenings, 10 evenings, it can be different each evening. That's what's exciting, once you've really got the technique.
Lean to each side.
I think it's necessary for the dancer to keep up with what's going on, because otherwise you wouldn't know what's happening. You see, quite often it's possible to become popular in a Western country, and because of that you can go on and on and on. But when you go back, you won't be accepted because you have probably slipped in your standards, or maybe the standards in India have gone up. You never know what's happened because it's changing there all the time.
You were saying earlier that the Indian dancer feels very much a part of the earth. Which earth do you feel is yours now? English earth or Indian earth?
I kind of feel torn in between, like all others do, I guess, who live here. I love England. I mean, I love London, and it's a way of life for me, you know, sort of. And there'll be a lot of problems of adjusting when I go back to live in India. I mean, that's a fact. And but at the same time, I have my roots in India and things that I love in India and my people. You know, sort of. We have very close family connections, and my parents are there. I'd love to go and see them. That side is there, and my dance, my teachers, you know, the sort of guru that I talked about. For me, my guru is my teacher, dance teacher, and he's very important. And to go back to him, that is necessary. It's a sort of emotional ties, sort of strengthening of all those again. And at the same time, for me, London is also equally important. So I am, say, sort of half London oriented and half back in India.
Yes, very gracefully. Say, yes, sir. Relax. Then also I wanted to check. Relax.
Well, watching that, Tara, there's visual evidence of how intriguing and fascinating Westerners are finding Indian dance. But I would like to know if the Indian community here have found a new interest. Was there a time when they turned their backs on it as something that belonged to their past and therefore had no importance here?
I don't think they really sort of turned their backs as such. I think probably there wasn't enough time for the people to devote to the arts. You see, when people come into a new country, settling down in that place is so much more important, finding a job, a house, so on. I think the immigrants who have come, the Asian immigrants, are more settled now, and definitely the younger generation who are growing up do want to know more, and so also with the older generation want to get a tie back, you know, sort of get back to what they used to know about. And this is one of the reasons why we have the academy here, and I think that's another reason why this festival is so important, the Festival of India that's happening this year. And Elena, I must tell you about the wonderful thing we are doing at the academy. We are doing a 10-day event called Nritya Sammelan, which means
Nritya
Sammelan, which means a festival of dance. And we are dealing with all aspects of dance. And
when will that be?
This is starting on the 27th of June and going on till the 4th of July. It starts with a lecture demonstration. We have Dame Alicia Markova coming to open the whole thing. We're delighted about that. We have a seminar, this is for the first time, a seminar on the contribution of classical Indian dance in Britain. And we have very eminent speakers coming. We have, for example, one of the Daily Telegraph dance critics, Fernahall, coming to do a comparative study between flamenco and classical Indian.
But it's not just going to be academic and remote.
No. And we have some beautiful dancers performing and different styles. We have, you see, at the academy, it's not only me teaching. We have 2 other lovely teachers. Chitra Sundaram teaches Bharatnatyam. And she has just come from India, and she's going to give her debut performance. And then we have a lovely couple called Pratap and Priya Pawar. They're going to do Kathak. Besides all this, we are getting artists from India, musicians from India, a Kathakali male dancer. So we're going to do stories, full stories, and an entire school's program.
And you're hoping, I guess, for audiences from all over.
Oh, yes, I do hope so, because we intend putting across all aspects of dance, explaining the styles, plus putting across the visual side, because I feel both go together, understanding and appreciating.
Well, of course, that's what Tara is going to be doing next week. And today, after our break, she's going to be performing a very special solo for us. It's called The Salvation of Putana. A very dramatic work it is. So join us for that in just a few moments.